My most requested topic to talk about in my Instagram DMs, my TikTok inbox, Facebook page is speech. Parents want to know what can they do to enhance their parenting style, to change their routine, or change the way they engage with their child in order to get their child to request what they want and need and just communicate to build that relationship with their parent. So stay tuned for simple tips on what to do to increase speech development in your toddler. Watch this reel that generated many comments on this topic. Teach them how to request their wants and needs. So based on the video, what did you get? Most parents teach their children their ABCs and their letters. This skill is not expected until they reach preschool. It's more important to teach your child skills that help them get their needs met during the day. This teaches them social communication skills. It helps them self-advocate as they approach you to get their needs met. It helps. When teaching your toddler to use words, it's important to know what milestones are expected of their age. In the description below, I have listed several websites that have milestone trackers. You can input your child's age and it'll come up with the developmental categories, and each categories will list several milestones on what your toddler is expected to do for their age. Remember, all kids develop on their own path. So there's a wide range of what we consider typical. And then there's an area where a young learning where they're not delayed, but they are a little behind their peers. And then there's delayed. So if your toddler isn't meeting these milestones exactly at 24 months, it's okay. Continue to work on the tips and strategies that I'll share in this video and continue to monitor their progress. If you have any concerns with your child's development, make sure you speak to your pediatrician. In the description, I listed the CDC website on how to access early intervention services in your state. Communication lets us know what our child wants and needs. It helps us understand their desires and what they don't like. Oftentimes, tantrums are either related to a lack of communication or, of course, toddler behavior. When they're told no, they might fall out. But this is typical stage of development and it's very expected. Today, I will be discussing simple tips to add to your daily routine that will help bridge the gap of communication. It'll help teach your toddler that their words get their needs met. So the three types of procedures I will be talking about are prompting procedures, providing them with choices, and contriving your environment so that they are requesting what they want and not just being provided for their needs. As parents, I have two wonderful children. It's easier to get through the day if you're just fixing their snack, giving them what you know that they want, or just providing whatever they need. But it's important that your toddler learns that they have to ask for what they want and they have to ask for what they need. This encourages them to use their words, and it teaches them that they have to speak in order to get their needs met. So with prompting procedures, when your child shows interest in an item, like they could either reach for it or look at it, prompt them by verbally naming the item and wait 1 to 3 seconds for them to respond. For example, if you know that they want the ball and it's out of reach, you can wait for them to say ball, or you can prompt them by showing them the ball and saying ball, and then waiting for them to respond, still withholding the ball. And then you can do it again, ball, and wait 1 to 3 seconds and then give them the ball. If they provide a word approximation for ball, such as saying buh or reinforce it, give it the ball right away, and then model the appropriate word, saying ball, you said ball, here's the ball. If they name the item correctly or using a word approximation, this is typical for a toddler who's learning to speak. They are not going to be able to pronounce all the words in the alphabet correctly. There are simple sounds that are expected of them for their age. For example, the M sound, the D sound, the N sound, and a few other sounds as well. So they might not be able to pronounce snack clearly, but if they use the word consistently, sounds for the word consistently, and identify that object, snack, by saying knack or ah, then you can count it as a true word. Second option is providing them with a choice. So you can have two items. One is a preferred item, something that you know they want, and then you can start with a non-preferred item, something that you know they will never ask for. You could present it still using the same prompting procedure, present both items in front of them and ask, do you want the ball or do you want the Lego? And then wait 1 to 3 seconds. Do you want the ball or do you want the Lego? And then try not to reinforce them just reaching for it or grabbing for it. Make sure they're using a sound in order to get that item that they're requesting. This is also really helpful during snack time. Kids are often motivated by their foods that they eat. So providing them a choice of allowing them to pick what snack they want. Do you want the apple or do you want the orange? And then wait for them to respond. The apple or the orange, and then wait for them to respond. Once again, word approximations count. If they produce that sound or any communication attempt to produce that sound, give them what they're requesting. Another example is contriving the environment. So this is when you're intentionally creating opportunities for them to communicate. For example, if you know your child loves a specific, I'll use snack again, a specific snack item such as cookie. You can place the cookie box within sight but out of reach. So they see it, but they can't get to it on their own. That means that they have to come to you for help, and they have to come to you to ask for help to retrieve the item. Or you can eat a snack in front of them. Num, 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 num. And then you're eating the snack and you see that they want it, but they're using maybe gestures, whining, or to try to reach and grab the snack, but you continue to eat this snack in front of them. And then you can go through the prompting procedure. Do you want a bite? And then wait for them to respond. Do you want a bite? And you can repeat it and wait for them to respond. And then, of course, if they have a word approximation or use the word to request for it or say yes, then you offer them a bite of the cracker or whatever item that you're offering to them. So some simple tips to improve your toddler's speech. Speak in clear, short phrases. Toddlers are learning to communicate, so they don't have a huge, expansive repertoire of language yet. So using short, simple phrases in order to get them to communicate will help them understand more clearly and help them repeat it more often. For example, if you say, like giving them directions, come here, get your book, give me, put the cup on the table, put the shoe by the door, use very short, simple phrases to communicate. Another strategy would be to read together. This is an awesome way to, one, increase time spent together, and also it's an awesome way to learn pre-literacy skills. For example, when you're reading a book, be very animated. You don't even have to read it word for word for a young child because they're really just looking at the pictures and the colors of the book. So be very animated in describing the characters and the illustrations of the book. And also model a lot of the language that is used in the book or language that you could use to describe the characters. Third tip is to limit screen time. Give your toddler opportunities to engage in back and forth conversations with family members. Teach them skills to conversation skills. So of course at their age, they're not going to have a lot of reciprocal conversation skills because they're still learning to communicate, but limiting screen time provides them opportunity to engage in something else. Another tip would be pretend play. This is a perfect way for you to act out scenarios that occur every day. You can use a lot of words to label items around the house, or if they have a little kitchen set, you can pretend to cook. You could use words like, "Oh, we're stirring the soup. Oh, we're biting into the apple. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yum, yum, yum." Use a lot of very animated sounds, environmental sounds, playing with the car. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Oh, beep, beep, crash. Oh, be very animated and silly with your play. Another suggestion would be repeat the words they say back to them clearly by emphasizing the sounds that they omit. For example, if they say ball, but they don't pronounce the double L, or they may omit the B sound, you can repeat that word back to them. Ball, emphasizing the syllables of the word. Another tip is, once your child starts using many single words to communicate, the next step would be stringing two words together. Start by using and building on the words they already have in their vocabulary. So a word that's common that most kids have in their vocabulary is mama or daddy. So you can say mama ball as a way for them to request for the ball. You can add, the next stage of development after they're using many single words to communicate and label items, the next step would be stringing two words together. And you can start by using the words that they already have in their vocabulary. So if they have the word mommy, then you can start adding a new word to that, or combining the words they already have. So if they already have mommy and cup, then you can say mommy cup as a question to help them learn that they can use mommy cup in that inflection in order to ask for the cup. And another tip would be making exaggerated mouth sounds. I see a lot of speech therapists do this tip. So an exaggerated mouth sound would be open. If you're teaching the child to say open in order for them to get maybe a snack that they need opened, and it's another way for them to ask for help. Open. So your mouth is exaggerating that O sound, and they're more likely to imitate that facial expression. And my last tip is very simple but very important. Don't place demands on your child to speak, especially if it's difficult for them to produce sounds and words. Try not to say, Johnny, say, and then placing that demand for them to say something. Use words naturally throughout your day and in your environment. And if you're using these tips I listed above, or using these tips that I just mentioned, just produce words clearly, slowly, and contrive the environment to give them opportunities to ask for what they want, but try not to make this situation an aversive experience for them, or else you're going to find that they become less and less likely to want to use their words or to speak in general. So if you have any questions or comments on the tips or strategies that I shared in this video, please put it in the comments. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Put it in the comments, smash the like